Ever wondered why risk management is essential for any organization? It's like the secret sauce that keeps a business thriving amidst uncertainties. Risk management is all about identifying, assessing, and managing risks effectively. It helps organizations to anticipate potential roadblocks and devise strategies to navigate them. It's not about eliminating risks, but rather it's about making informed decisions. By the end of this video, you will understand how to implement a comprehensive risk management framework. The first step towards implementing a risk management framework is defining the likelihood of risks. This is a crucial stage as it sets the foundation for assessing potential risks that your organization might face. To define risk likelihood, we start by establishing criteria. This could be based on historical data, theoretical analysis, expert judgment, or even industry benchmarks. The goal is to develop a clear, objective standard for determining the likelihood of a risk event occurring. Next, we develop a scale from rare to almost certain to categorize the likelihood of risks. This helps to simplify the process and provide a common language for discussing risks. Once we have our criteria and scale, it's time for data collection. We gather relevant information for each risk scenario. This data is then evaluated against our established criteria, and each risk is placed on our scale based on its likelihood. Once you have defined the likelihood of risks, you are ready to develop an impact table. This will help us understand the potential consequences of each risk, which we will cover in the next segment. Now let's move on to the next step, developing an impact table. This is all about mapping out the potential hit of each risk. Start by identifying the areas within your organization that could be affected by risks. These could be financial, operational, legal, or even reputation-based. And next, create an impact scale. This could range from insignificant to minor, moderate, major, or catastrophic. This will help you measure the impact of each risk on your identified areas. Once you've got your scale, it's time to set clear definitions for each level of impact within the areas you've identified. This will ensure consistency when evaluating the potential impact of each risk. Finally, it's time to evaluate. Take each risk and assess its potential impact using your impact scale. Remember to consider both direct and indirect consequences. After evaluating the potential impact of each risk, it's time to set the risk acceptance criteria. The third step in the process is setting the acceptance criteria for risks. To do this, first you'll need to define the levels of risk your organization is willing to tolerate. These tolerances should align with your strategic objectives and operational capabilities. Once you've established these tolerances, it's time to incorporate stakeholder input. This is a crucial step as it ensures that the acceptance criteria reflect not only your organizational values, but also the expectations of your key stakeholders. Now that you have your risk acceptance criteria, it's time to apply them. Evaluate each risk against these criteria to determine which risks can be accepted and which require further treatment. Be sure to document your criteria and the rationale behind each acceptance decision clearly. This will provide a valuable reference point for future risk management activities. Once you have set the risk acceptance criteria, you can move on to constructing a risk matrix. The final steps in implementing a risk management framework are constructing a risk matrix and developing risk treatment plans. Let's start with the matrix. You'll want to cross-reference the likelihood of risks occurring against the impact if they do occur. To make this visually clear, use color coding. Red flags, high risks, orange indicates medium risk, and green points to low risk. Place each identified risk on the matrix according to its evaluated likelihood and impact. The matrix will help you prioritize, with the highest risks demanding immediate attention. Now, let's turn to developing risk treatment plans. Start by exploring your options. You could avoid the risk, mitigate it, transfer it, or accept it. Choose the most appropriate treatment for each risk, considering effectiveness, cost, and feasibility. Once you've made your choice, then develop detailed action plans for implementing these measures. However, your job doesn't stop there. It's crucial to regularly monitor the effectiveness of your treatment measures. Are they working as expected? If not, it's time to adjust your plans. Remember, risk management is a dynamic process. It requires constant attention and fine-tuning. By following these steps, you can effectively implement a risk management framework in your organization. Let's quickly recap what we have learned today. We delved into the importance of risk management and broke down the steps to implement a risk management framework. We covered defining risk likelihood, developing an impact table, setting risk acceptance criteria, constructing a risk matrix, and finally, developing treatment plans. We also touched on conducting a risk assessment using a risk register. Now you have the knowledge and tools to implement a risk management framework and manage risks effectively in your organization. Thank you for watching.